Alrighty, let's do this.
1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Alright, so you need to fly earlier than this. Just because like if a Junkrat's flying at you, this is the easiest shot in the world to land. But if you just take off, suddenly he can't hit you anymore, right? So just like take off, get up the air, start shooting at him, right? And then start running around the corner if there's hit scans or something. But standing here is just like asking to take a free junk shot, right? And that pretty much single-handedly got you killed. Yeah.
Adjusting angle of attack.
You're generally looking to play vertical most of the time.
Mobility.
Take high ground.
Focus with me.
Echo is a lot in common with Genji, actually. You just kind of play high ground. She's kind of like a cross between Genji and Pharah. So you just kind of take high ground, you hold the high ground, and then you fly above it and shoot down at them, right? And the only way they can stop you is by bringing hit scans, and at which point you turn into more of a Genji and you just go for assassinations, right? You still want to play high ground, you still want to like take these spots and stuff like that, but your first priority is always like, how do I blow up the hit scan, and then go in, right? So it's like a cross between Genji and Pharah. Yeah. You can also cancel beam by pressing E again. I don't know if you knew this, but it's very relevant because the beam makes you, I think, slow, but either way, like locks you into animations, and it's very low DPS if they're not below half. Yeah, if you need to cancel, you need to cancel. Also, be careful, like it's okay to stay on high ground, especially if like you chase them away, right? If you just play here, right, you're safe. But if you're down here, suddenly you're not safe, right? So again, play to hold high grounds whenever possible.
Not good.
Oh, that's a trap. Again, like all your flies are originating from low ground, and then they're ending before you stay on the high ground, and then you're dropping back to low ground, and it just makes your game really hard, right? So if you're gonna fly up, like fly to stay there, right? And now you can just shoot them, pelt them from above, and now they have to respect you, right? You're a Genji from playing from above, right? You have sticky bombs to blow people up. You have beam, right? And you have fly to like get in with your beam and get out with your beam, etc. And they just have to respect it, right? So they have to play either wide, right, and shoot at you, in which case they can get shot by your team, or they just like give up, and then at which point they're doing nothing, and you've essentially killed them, right? But yeah, you do need to play for high ground. Yeah, take and hold the high ground. If you're shooting here, it's really no different than being here, right? Or just play further back, right? Up here, like fly from here to here, shoot them, and then go back, right? And then also that way you would identify the Junkrat that's here and you would shoot him, right? Or beam him. But you really just don't want to be in the choke, just shooting on low ground, because it's just kind of bad. It leads to all sorts of stuff like this, and that gets you killed, right? Like this straight up wouldn't happen if you weren't here, right? If you were like up here, right? This junk flank would just never kill you like this, right? So high ground is very bad.
Changing position. The payload has reached the chip. Mobility increased.
Alright, so your primary copy target is pretty much always going to be Monkey if you get the chance. There are some other ones that are okay. Zen's okay. Diva's okay. And Junk it's kind of okay, not really. But there are situations where it's okay. But like the def ones, the S tier one is definitely Monkey here. And then the Diva and the Zen are also like doable.
Would you like another helping? Would you like another helping?
Interesting Thanksgiving voice line. Anyways. Okay, so that with tanks, the margin of error is high enough on the HP bar that you kind of want to wait and confirm that their HP is below half before you pop out the beam. With squishies, sometimes you need to like when you're going for burst damage, you just kind of throw the stickies and then like shoot a couple shots and open with the beam, regardless of what their health actually is. And if they're actually below half, then you continue the beam. If they're not below half, then you cancel the beam, right? But for tanks, there's enough time that you can just like see what their health is, right? So in this case, this beam is way too early because he's still got armor, right? So she's at over 400 HP right now. You're also just not using fly enough, right? Like you got pushed here, instead of flying away from her and shooting her in the face, right? You kind of just fell down, right? And then you fell down again, right? And there's no flying to be had here, right? Just keep flying, right? Flying is good. They have no hit skins.
Executing flight
don't end a fly right next to them. It's okay that like, I mean, you killed someone, which is nice, but like don't end a fly right next to the diva, right? Like you're gonna fly, right? You want to end the fly a little bit further away and then drift down slowly, and then as you're like coming down, then you fly back up, right? This is why it's important to start the fly early, so you start the fly from a high position, right? So you're even higher, and when you come down, you're back on the high position, right? As opposed to like you having to use your whole fly to get back up, and now your fly ends right next to them, right? If this diva was good, she would just kill you, right? But I mean, it's fine that you find a kill. It's good that you find a kill here. Echoes a lot of burst damage, right? A lot of burst damage. So going for assassinations is always good. You already have ulto, so you're really looking to use it on something. So that way, like, set up this is okay, a case where you know it's okay to beam, because she was already below half when you threw the stickies. In fact, it's almost overkill to actually use the beam because she was so low already, right?
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Can't copy her.
Sorry.
Yeah, you really should have looked to use her ult earlier on this monkey, and that way you can like apply pressure more aggressively and just go for backline on their Zen or something, and then like build a primal and then kill him, right? And that way you charge your next ult, right? Like, yeah, Echo ult's good, but it's not so good that you need to wait for the perfect opportunity. It's much more of a tempo ult, right? You use it, you gain advantage, you turn that advantage into hopefully a fight win, and you start building another Echo ult as soon as you can, right?
Adaptive circuits engaged. Junkrat.
Forces 2 ults actually. Right, now we're going for an assassination. So again, like if you're gonna fly, right, keep shooting, right? If you're not shooting, that means you're going for an assassination. Right? If you're not shooting here, that means you're trying to get close to the Echo to land as many stickies as you can and just blow her up, right? But you don't actually go for the Echo, you just kind of like run, right? But if you're gonna run, just keep shooting, right? Don't stop shooting because you'll build ult faster that way. You're projectile here, right? You're Genji, you're Pharah. You just never stop shooting. If you're not shooting, it's to be sneaky, right? It's kind of just like don't shoot for like 5 seconds, then you miss your stickies, and now it's like push it both ways. Goodbye.
Flight routine activated.
How long is this quick play game? Oh my god, you guys full hold? Or hold on this point? Holy. Wow, you guys actually hold. Right, see, that's good. If you're trying to be sneaky, right? Then you just kind of like don't shoot, right? But yeah, if you're gonna be sneaky, you need to hit these stickies. Again, if you don't hit enough stickies on the guy, keep shooting until they get low, and then beam, right? Otherwise, like if you hit all stickies, just like shoot and then beam, right? But if like you only hit like 1 or 2 stickies, right? So keep shooting and then like and if you hit some meat shots, then you E. But otherwise, they're not gonna be low enough from just the 1 sticky. Do you know how much damage each sticky? Okay, I'll just tell you. Each sticky does 30 damage as an explosion, I believe, maybe 25. They might have nerfed it. And it does 5 damage on contact. So if you hit all 6, I think it's 25 explosion, 5 on contact. So if you hit all 6 stickies, it's 180 damage, right? If you hit 2, it's 60, right? So if you hit 1, it's 30 damage. They're fine, right? So yeah. Like if you hit 1 sticky, just keep shooting them until they're low enough that you can beam them, right? And then chase. Oh, you got trapped. Right, again, like you want to start from higher positions so that when you fly, you're farther away. In this case, you were not only in a low position, you were also like in a room. So you're not only do you have to commit. So instead of using fly to get up, because like fly has the most like burst movement at the very start, right? So instead of using fly to get up, you use fly to get out of the room, right? And now you have to like try and climb in their face with Discord on you, and you're probably gonna die. I don't know if you actually die, but you're probably gonna die. All right, let's take damage. But you really should have died there. Again, you want to like use fly, right? Especially if you're gonna beam, right? I know you're trying to get into the monkey bubble, right? But like use fly, right? Like fly into him, beam, and then fly back up and start flying up, right? Just do static, and then, like because you're lined up with all the damage, right? Like your whole team is here, right? Their whole team's here. The Zen's like lined up with you, right? Because everyone's lined up, you just took a lot of damage that you didn't have to, right? As opposed to if you just like beamed and like flew to the side, flew up, right? Beamed from above, right? and then flew away, right? Like you can do this as Echo, right? You can just take like random off angles in the middle of a fight because nobody can stop you from taking the vertical angle that close, right? Whoops, wrong person.
Ability increased.
All right, if you want to end the fly somewhere high ground, this spot, I don't know if you can do that. You can just stand here, right? You can just like rest here for a second. Like you can do this as far, you can do this Genji, any high ground here really, and then you can like use this fly to get even higher, right? So. Again, as soon as the Echo dies, you need to cancel the beam because you know that this guy's full health because you're shooting him, right? Quick note: if you want to know HP bars, spamming beam is not actually a bad way to like. If there's a bunch of people, right? You just like sit next to them, you just like wiggle your beam around a whole bunch, and you'll see who's low, and then you can choose a target to focus on, right? But in this case, like you know that like you're shooting the diva, you know she's high health, the beam's pointless, the Echo's dead, right? Time to cancel the beam and leave.
Lights off. Going free.
Again, be really careful ending the fly here. You can just get punished, right? Again, so like when we fly, right, we either like walk out and shoot, right, or we fly and then we start getting higher and farther away as the fly continues, so that we end the fly in high ground and so that we're safe, right? And if they push us, we drop and then we fly away again, right? Or we wait until next fly and then they do push us, they would just fly even further, right? But we don't want to end fly next to them because we can just die.
Reinhardt.
You can't copy the Ryan, so you can copy There's also a valid argument for copying the Mercy here, actually, and going to get the res. Because your monkey, where did your Ryan die? I think he died on your side. Never mind, he died in their spawn. Okay, forget what I just said. Don't res the Ryan. don't take Mercy. But you really want to take Monkey, just go aggro with it. Again, like with tanks, be patient, right? Identify when they're low and then actually commit the beam to them. Because like, this guy's full health, right? Your beam does 100 DPS, you'd much rather just shoot him with your clip. Yeah, so with squishies, you can afford to pre-beam if you know you're about to land a lot of, if you just landed a lot of damage, right? You just landed a lot of stickies, you're hitting left clicks or both, right? With tanks, just wait until you see that HP bar drop. You have enough time. Oh my god. Alright, so I think that's all the major points. I'll send you remind me to send you a video from Dante about like just like how like rough like the big key points in Echo. For ult, you want to use it more actively. It's a strong tempo ult. It's not a fight winner by itself unless you use it really early, which gives you the time to like get aggressive and like abuse its strengths, right? If you try to salvage a fight with it, like it's just not like a grab dragon, right? It just doesn't do stuff like that. It's not a grab. What it does let you do is it lets you build a grab, right? But you can't do that unless you have time, right? So you got to use it early in fights, or in close fights. But like, it's not a fight. It's not an ult to be used like late, and it's not an ult to hoard because it's like you build it relatively fast, and it again is not like that important of an ult. You can also use it as a get out of jail free card. Like if you just go really aggressive, right? And you try and get a kill, and if you get the kill but you're deep, you can just copy whoever's nearest to you, preferably a tank, and then you just try and like live with it. Because when you die, you'll get like a free cooldown reset, and if you copy a hero with mobility, you can just use that to get out, right? So if you copy Genji, you just dash out, right? Use deflect, build ult, and then just come back with Dragon Blade in a couple of seconds, right? And you can do that. So that's always really strong. With stickies, again, we're looking to we're either going for assassinations or we're going for poke, right? So we either shoot them a lot, right, and just keep shooting while flying, and again use high ground, or we're going for assassinations by just like using high ground to get the drop on them, right? Again, high ground, to get the drop on them, and then like we just show up, land all as many stickies as we can, start shooting, and then if like we land a lot of stickies, then we start beaming, or if we don't land a lot of stickies, we start shooting and start considering running away with our fly, right? If our fly is like or if we're landing a lot of shots, then we consider beaming, right? And remember, you can beam while flying, and you can fly while beaming. So things to keep in mind. Don't forget to cancel beam if it's not a good beam. And remember to like wait on tanks until like you can before you beam, right? Wait until like you see their HP actually get below half, and that like they're not going to just get an auto nade and get healed up or something, as well. And it actually makes a very big difference. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. Any questions, comments, concerns, and just to check if you've watched this, when you see this, DM me what 5 + 5 equals.